streams of, you have the Shomer Tzair, you have the Histadrut, the Chalutz Tzair, in Kletsk. And this is sort of what I'm segueing into now is to the movement towards Palestine and towards Israel. And this is actually a reunion, a meeting in Tel Aviv in what year, 1933 does it say, I think? 53? 53, sorry, 53. So this is a reunion of immigrants who came before the war through the youth movements in Tel Aviv. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about, again, the center of my focus really is the Kletzkers who came and their descendants. Rav Shach, in the larger version, I talk about Rav Shach, I talk about the Eisenstadt, Barzilai family, famous literary figures in Israel and Palestine. But I wanted to focus today on the last two, the Trubovitch family, Trubovitz, and the Ben Ari family. This is a man, Yitzhak Trubovitz, who unfortunately I didn't have the pleasure of meeting. I knew his granddaughter in college at Berkeley, actually, just total coincidence. The name might be familiar to some of you. This is the man, the first building at Tel Aviv University was donated by him. It's in the college, it's now the law faculty. But it was the first building built. A very generous benefactor, a wealthy industrialist. He was the founder of the Yitzhar oil, cooking, food oil company and soaps, etc. Did very well and was, as I said, very generous. Our family stories overlap, not just my college story, but he came in, one of the things he did in the 40s was he tried to raise money, including, was involved in secret plans to get weapons to the Jewish forces in Palestine. So in 47, he came to New York and visited my grandfather and my mother, who was 15 at the time. He wanted to take her to Palestine with him, and of course her parents wouldn't let her go. But that's sort of just an interesting sort of overlap with our family stories. This is him still in Kletsk with his, that's him as a bar mitzvah boy, back with his parents. I connected, this is actually not my friend from Berkeley days, but this is her older sister, who right after high school made Aliyah to Israel. That is, this would have been in the 80s, early 80s, and these are her two grandchildren. And I just had the pleasure this summer of meeting with her and talking with her and about her grandfather. And hearing the family story and how everybody's sort of gone off in different directions. And that's what I expand upon in the written version of this paper, is sort of how they really reflect all different streams. Some of them have settled outside of the country, some are, most of them are still in Israel. But these are her, Michelle and her two grandkids. She has a son in Boulder, Colorado. She has two in Midrashet Ben Gurion. Etc. All right. The Ben Ari family, this is Eli Melech, the same man I met in '94, unfortunately passed away a few years later. And he came, as I said, as a 16-year-old from Kletsk, left behind his entire family and, of course, never saw anybody ever again. He, as I said, after the breakup of the Soviet Union, decided with a passion. I heard this from I interviewed his son this summer as well. Shmuel, you'll see his picture in just a minute. He said his father was a person transformed. With the breakup of the Soviet Union, he felt compelled to do something to preserve the memory, to correct the lack of memory about the Jews in Kletsk. He also